Welcome to Making Sense with Meka, the podcast. The Making Sense with Meka podcast is a journey where we'll explore the truth of everyday life from my experiences and my perspective. We'll ask the hard questions in an attempt to make it all make sense. Welcome to the Making Sense with Meka podcast, episode 5. We deserve your protection too. Hey y'all, this is Meka from the Making Sense with Meka podcast, and I come to y'all today with a heavy heart, a disappointed spirit, and a crushed soul. I am in complete and utter disbelief in the fact that Black men and women don't believe that Black women deserve to be protected. This is something that is not based solely on current events, because of course the current events is what brought me here. However, this is a repeated cycle. Like the craziness behind the fact that you actually have other Black people defend the fact that it was okay for a Black man to shoot a Black woman in her feet and she be the one to be criticized. Or we have a Black woman who was in her home asleep. Police barge in and you actually have other Black people who are stating things like, well, what was she doing? What was she involved in? Those are the reasons that caused her death. And I'm just perplexed. And it all comes back to our own self-hatred. But not just the self-hatred of Black people, but the hatred of the Black woman. I am a Black woman. I ride for us. I stand up for us. I believe in us. And I know we have our faults, we have our shortcomings, and we have our flaws, as every other race of women. We're not the only ones that have attitudes. We're not the only ones that can get loud with you and put you in your place. Because our Latina sisters, they go in. But we're the only ones that have to carry this moniker of being angry, of being this self-righteous Black woman, way too independent, always mad, always got to add. Why? Like, why are we the ones that have to carry the moniker of this? Why are we the ones that people look at, and if we assert ourselves, if we stand up for ourselves, if we make ourselves known and our voices heard, it's a negative connotation versus any other race of people, especially their women. They are looked at, these qualities, same qualities that Black women hold, are looked at as being assertive or being brave and confident. She is wise beyond her years. Like, cut us a freaking break already. Black women are expected to not only be meek and quiet and submissive, but then y'all also expect us to be freaking superheroes. Superheroes are not meek, quiet, or submissive. Y'all want us to save the freaking world, be everything to everybody, while we give nothing to ourselves, and still be expected to be these meek little background characters. It's not possible. Now, can we be submissive? Can we be meek? We can be those things. That's an option, but you have to create the space for us to be that. We're in a world, the space that has been created for us as Black women don't allow that. There's no space for it. There's no room for it. Not only do our men not allow us to be that way, society does not allow us to be that way. The world does not allow us to be that way, because if we don't stand up for ourselves, damn it, nobody else does. And There's always exceptions to the rule. Don't come on my podcast leaving no comments about, oh, I'm a strong black man, I protect my black queens. You protect your mama, your sisters, your nieces, your cousins. You don't protect your random black woman in the grocery store getting beat up or, spit on, or you protect the black women in your family that you love. All black women don't have that cushion or that protection. I don't have no brothers. I'm the oldest girl in my immediate family, and I don't have a brother to, if I get in a situation and I'm disrespected and a man, I don't have the option to call my brother and say, hey, pull up. I don't have that. I have a husband now, and of course my husband is going to protect me because I'm his wife. But every black woman does not have that protection, that wall around her. Why are we not protecting them? Why does society, why do black men and women feel that we don't deserve the same protection that other races of women deserve? I want to know. This is a serious ass question. I'm not playing no games with y'all. I'm about sick of everything that's going around on social media when it comes to the protection of black women. Every freaking time you find fault in us. Well, what was she doing? Man, listen. Whatever Meg Thee Stallion said to the little short man, Tory Lanez, whatever she said to him, it did not give him the right to shoot her in her foot. I don't give a damn if she talked about his dead grandma. That didn't give him the right for him to shoot her in her foot. He doesn't get to make that choice for her. And then to try to skate around it and not be man enough to own up to it, because now he's embarrassed because other black men have called him out on it. Breonna Taylor, I told somebody online this week, I don't give a damn if she was the biggest drug dealer in Louisville, Kentucky. That still did not give them the right to barge into her house and pump her full of bullets until she was dead. She is due process by the Constitution. She has that same right as every other human being. Give her her day in court. If she was guilty of anything, drugs, money, whatever, if she was protecting the boyfriend, give her her day in court. That did not give those officers the right to take her life. Nobody wants to take the ownership for the demise of what has happened to the black family and the black community. And 99.9% of it is due to the lack of respect and protection of the black woman. Malcolm X once said, the most disrespected woman in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. That was said in the 1960s. It's 2020. And the quote is still true. No lies detected. Why? Why are we in 2020 and the black woman is still the most unprotected? We get no love. And I know there's a community of people who praise black women, queen this and sister that, and you know what I'm saying, right fist to the sky. I know, I know y'all out there. My brothers, I'm not talking to y'all. The masses, the groups of society who think that black women are less than, less intelligent, less beautiful, less prosperous, less abundant. Man, 86 all that. Because black women have proven over time, we are the most educated human beings in America. We have started the most businesses in this century than any other race of women. We're the most entrepreneurial. A black woman can shake her way up out of a paper bag if necessary. She can feed a whole family of children with a bag of potatoes and an onion. We make miracles happen. People don't talk about black girl magic for no reason. We are freaking magical. And if you don't know by now, spend time with one. And I'm not talking about, getting to know her in the work environment or, getting to know her passerby. She might be your neighbor or, a friend that you associate with outside. Get to know the insides of her. Get to know how she runs her family, how she makes things connect, how she turns 15 cents into a dollar. Because as Black women, we have had to create a way for ourselves. We are the people that they're talking about, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. That's us. Yeah, we did that. And in the process, 9 times out of 10, we make it our business to bring our brothers, our kings, our men, our lovers along with us. We never try to leave them behind, even though some of them have abandoned us. And I know the statistics are off. Most Black men marry Black women. I know the statistics are off as far as Black people being in love and in relationships. I get that part. But the statistics are not off when it comes to physical abuse and murder of Black women. That solely belongs to the Black man. And until the Black man loves, respects, protects, and places the Black woman back up on the pedestal that she belongs on, our communities will never be whole. Our children will never be right. We will always have these situations in our communities that are ugly marks that we try to put Band-Aids on. The Black woman is the community. She's the heartbeat of it. And we're in so much pain. And we're so busy trying to survive and protect ourselves that we don't have enough left over to give. And yes, there's a community of people who have awakened and they're getting back to the things that were robbed of us from our heritage, gardening and healing ourselves through plants and creating our own medicines. And man, that is beautiful. I love seeing it. But it's still way too many of us lost. And the sad part about it is some of us that are lost are other Black women. We don't even stand up for each other. And a lot of times it don't even have to do with competition. It's the programming. We've literally been programmed to hate ourselves, to believe that we are not good enough, and to believe that we are not worthy. I will say within the last 4 or 5 years that there has been a resurgence of, people realizing how amazing the Black woman is. But you still have instances when you have situations like Meg Thee Stallion or Breonna Taylor, or you could name a million incidents where Black women are not protected. Don't we deserve your protection too? Aren't we worthy of that? If your mother was Black, you got a Black sister, you got Black nieces, you got Black daughters. Sometimes you have to take yourself out of someone else's situation and place your family member or your loved one there. How would I react if that was my sister? How would I react if that was my mother? When did we stray so far away from protecting the queen bee? Like literally, if you know anything about bees and honeybees, try to get to that queen and see what happens. Your ass gonna be stung up. You can't get to the queen because she's protected. And that's what we're missing. That's what our communities are missing. That's what our homes are missing. It's completely out of control. I've heard things this week about Breonna Taylor. I've heard things this week about Meg Thee Stallion that are just beyond me. And I know there's been support and there's been love and there's been an outcry, but I'm still devastated by the people who have the nerve, the audacity to not see the worth behind both of their lives. The men who are, I need more background information on the Tory Lanez thing. What did she do to him? What did she say? Man, it doesn't matter what she said. You know what I'm saying? She could have called him an elf for all I care. That doesn't give him the right to shoot her. and then nobody protect her. Breonna Taylor, again, I don't care what she was doing in her homes. A lot of y'all doing shit in y'all homes, y'all ain't got no business either. It doesn't matter. She deserved her day in court. That's her constitutional right. It's called due process. They don't get to just walk in and kill you and determine that you're guilty. They got to charge you. You need to be booked. You need to be interrogated. You need to be read your rights. And you need to be given a court date and an opportunity to contact a lawyer. She did not get any of that. Why is her life not worth that? Why would anybody make an excuse for the police that took her life? She was murdered in her own home. Some people say she was in the hall. I don't give a damn if she was in the hallway, if she was on the toilet. She wasn't asleep. I don't care. If she was wide awake, it was still her own home. If they can do that to her, then they can do it to any of us. August 1st of 2016 in Randallstown, Maryland, our good sister, Corrin Gaines, stood up for herself. She was in her home. They came to serve a warrant or arrest her on some driving charges, some motor vehicle charges, not selling drugs, not prostitution, not child sex trafficking, not murdering anybody. They came to serve her for warrants, I believe, for driving under suspension. And sis was weaponed up. She had everything she needed to protect herself in her home. And she didn't go out without a fight. And I remember hearing Black people say, oh, she was crazy. She was bipolar. She had some mental issues. She had some. Why? Why don't we defend each other? Where's the unity in that? That sister had the right to carry. She was protecting her home. She didn't have to leave her home. And she chose not to. She asserted her rights. She knew her rights. And the first thing that other Black people do, men and women, is tear her down. Man, F that. Like, we got to start riding for each other. Because in any other community of people, they support each other. They recognize the worth of their people. Not only that, they recognize the worth of their women. I will say this, that Black women have more than proven their worth. We have birthed nations. We have breastfed the offspring of our slave masters. We have survived the Jim Crow laws by protecting our men and making sure that they were strong and also marching alongside them. We have marched and stood up for the murders of Black men by the hands of the police. We have rioted. We have stood toe to toe with the Black man. Anytime something happens to the Black man, the first people out and on the front line are Black women. We have more than proven our worth, which we didn't know, y'all. We don't need to prove ourselves to any effing body. However, continuously, countlessly, we have proven ourselves and we have given of ourselves. And till we had nothing left. Depleted, broken. And all we've gotten is criticism or abuse. I'm so disappointed in the lack of love for the Black woman. Like, we deserve to be loved. We deserve to be protected. We deserve to be uplifted. Yes, we're strong. Yes, we can carry nations on our back. Yes, we can uplift others. Yes, we motivate others. Yes, we go to war for our men. But damn it, who's going to war for us? Who's loving us? Who's making us feel complete? And that's why now everybody's, oh, the Black woman is selfish and she's too independent and self-care Sundays and she don't care nothing about no. If we don't do it for ourselves, who the hell gonna do it for us? We have to stand up for ourselves. We have to make sure that everybody knows that we're worthy. The only way we can do that is by treating ourselves as if we're worthy. Because nobody goes out of their way to champion us, to show us the respect and love that we deserve. We work hard. We raise our babies. We go to school. We create businesses. And in creating businesses, we create jobs. We heal our communities through food. Like, I've met so many amazing Black women in the last 9 months. Like, 2020 has been, when they say 2020 vision, no lie. Like, the Black woman has found herself. And she is like creating like no other. Whether it's medicines or a business or jobs or schooling their children. We became teachers in 2020. Not me, but other Black women did. And we still get the short end of the stick. Like, where's the love? And we shouldn't have to look only in our own homes towards our own husbands and children and brothers and uncles to feel that love. It should be universal. The Black woman should be praised. We are worthy. We are worthy of your protection. We are worthy of your love. We are worthy of your motivation. We are worthy of your self-sacrifice. We are worthy of it all. We're worthy to be taken care of. We're worthy of your abundance. How dare you think anything less of us? How dare you talk down on queens who were only trying to make a way for themselves? Breonna Taylor was an EMT. Meg Thee Stallion is doing her thing in the music business. Like, how dare you fix your mouth to keep the ego intact of the Black man so we suffer, or to protect and uplift the status quo. Oh, don't do nothing illegal and nothing bad won't happen. Y'all, Black men and some Black women talk about other Black women like white people talk about us. Oh, if you weren't doing nothing illegal, you wouldn't have got killed. Seriously? So why is the Black man's life worth more than the Black woman's life? Somebody tell me that. And we've been blamed for everything. We've been blamed for everything, from welfare to, Section 8. That's why the Black man couldn't be the head of the house. Black man, I need y'all to stand up. It's not our fault. You abandoned us. You walked away from us. You turned your back on us. For a lot of things, a lot of different reasons. White women, drugs, crime, shifting the responsibility. It's easier to run than walk. It's way too many Black children out there whose fathers went out for a gallon of milk or a pack of cigarettes and didn't come back. And that was not my experience. Let me be clear. I had a Black man in my home who worked every day and provided. And maybe that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I truly don't understand. My father went out every day. He went to work. He came home. He provided for his wife and his daughters. And he showed us love the way he knew how to show us love, by making sure we never wanted for anything. And we felt protected. So I was blessed. Count me as one of the lucky ones. But what I want to know is, why isn't every little girl given that same love and protection? Why isn't every Black woman, why haven't every Black woman experienced that at least one time in their life? My father always used to say, life is hard, but it's fair. And this is probably one time I would disagree with him. The life of the Black woman is not only hard, but damn it, it's not fair. It's not fair that we're always put last. It's not fair that no one wants to protect us. It's not fair that we always have to protect ourselves. And then when we do, we're judged for it. You're too independent. You're too assertive. You're angry. If I don't stand up for me, who the hell gonna stand up for me? Since 2015, 48 black women have been killed by police and only 2 charges. 48. How many can you name? Like off the top of your head, for real. How many can you name? How many marches have there been for the 48 black women who were killed by police since 2015? You can name the most popular ones: Sandra Bland, Corin Gaines. A lot of y'all forget about her. Breonna Taylor as most recent. But it's been 48. We're not even remembered. When we are remembered negatively. And that just isn't fair. So I refuse to allow anybody to talk down on or discredit these black women, because in spite of any flaws or shortcomings or qualms they may have had, they still deserved to live. Nobody on this planet had the right to take their lives. Each one of them deserved an opportunity to present themselves in front of whatever high court deemed necessary. They didn't get that opportunity, and that was not fair. And now, even in death, they aren't remembered. They aren't held at high regard. They aren't marched for. The riots and the burning of the buildings and all that kind of stuff, that's selective. That's for black men. We don't get the same outrage. We don't get the same outcry, but we deserve it. I will no longer subscribe to the philosophy that we are the most unprotected and the most disregarded. I will only speak life into black women. Black women will be adored by the beings of this universe. And I speak that and I stand on it. And I will support my sisters, right or wrong, good or bad, in their right to live. I'm not saying go out there and be a criminal or do bad shit to people or, be a dirty individual. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they have the right to live, regardless of their character or morals or choices. We've all made some questionable choices, some bad choices, some bad decisions. And 9 times out of 10, when it comes to a black woman, those decisions are based on her love for a black man. But she gonna take the heat for it because, of course, we take the blame for everything. So going forward, I will only speak my praise. I will only speak my support. I will only speak my love for the black woman because we deserve it. We are worthy. And as a people, we have to begin to speak that over ourselves. Because I'm telling you, this community, if you love black people and you want a thriving community of black people and thriving black children and thriving black marriages and thriving black finances and thriving black hospitals and schools, and if you are a proud black person, then you have to love and support and uplift the black woman. Because if you don't, we're not going to get what we're looking for. We're not going to see the other side of the mountain. The dream will never be realized because we're the heartbeat. The man, he is the muscle. He is the provider. Even though we provide for ourselves, he should be the provider. He should be the protector. But the woman is the heartbeat in the neck. We help men see the different perspectives of life. We help them see the softer side. We help them see the nurturing side. So until we begin to love on, motivate, encourage, lift up, place on a pedestal the black woman, our communities, our children, our schools, our hospitals, our doctors, our lawyers, our police, all of it will continue to suffer. We will continue to be a broken people. We will continue to be a broken society. Why? every other society around us thrives. We have to do better. We have to want better. And at this point, I know we know better. I know we know better. There is no way we don't know better. I refuse to believe anything else. I just want y'all to stand with me. And I want y'all to encourage Black women. And I want y'all to stop publicly speaking down on Black women and questioning our motives and questioning because even in our faults, even in our disarray or bad decision making, we are still good and we are still worthy of life. All right, y'all. As promised, if you follow the Making Sense with Meka social media pages on Facebook and Instagram by the same names, you do know that we are running a giveaway this week with the podcast. Thanks to Black Girls Designs out of Akron, Ohio. They are donating a shirt to one of our faithful listeners. So all you got to do is listen to the podcast, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Instagram page, and share that you did all of those above, and you will be entered into a raffle to win either a Black Lives Matter t-shirt or a Breonna Taylor t-shirt. So I need y'all to go out there, my faithful listeners, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, even if you've already done that. Like the Instagram page, share that you've done it on your page, and you will be submitted to win a t-shirt from our great sponsor at Black Girls Designs out of Akron, Ohio. I just want to end this week's podcast off by saying that I do believe as a community of people that we have made some strides and that we are beginning to awaken to who we truly are and to our power, and we are trying to rebuild our communities. But there's been so much negative programming against us. And now that we use that against ourselves, it's been to our own detriment. And I just want to end this week's podcast by saying you have to show the Black women, not only in your lives, but that you work with, that you come across on the train or the bus or at the gas station or in the grocery store, or just out living life at the farmer's market. You have to begin to show us some love. We need to be poured into as much as we pour into our communities and into our men, into our children. We need to be uplifted. Yes, we are strong. Yes, we are built for tough. But that doesn't mean we always want to be that way. I know so many Black women. I talk to them all the time, and we really don't want to wear the pants no more. Like, we doing it because we feel like we have no other choice. But we would gladly put on a skirt given the opportunity. Black women want to be vulnerable again. We want to bask in our feminine energy. We want to be pretty and just glow and be trophy wives, and we want all of that as well. And we deserve it. We don't always want to have to be so strong for everybody else and end up depleting ourselves and having nothing left to give to ourselves. We want to be pampered, we want to be spoiled, and we deserve it. As any other race of women, we deserve it. We deserve to be taken care of. We deserve to have our choice at the life that we choose to live. If we want to be career women, we want to be housewives, a lot of us don't even have the opportunity or the choice to choose that. We've been placed in a position where all we can do is go out and get it. And that's great because we're motivated and we are creating, and it's wonderful. However, some of us deserve to be pampered and spoiled and taken care of and loved and uplifted. And I just challenge everybody, not just Black men, because I'm not putting this all on them, because Black women, we have so much hate between us that it just doesn't even make sense. I am challenging everyone to empower and love and motivate and inspire not just the Black women in your lives. Because it's so easy to say, well, I take care of my mom. I lift her up. I take care of my sisters. I take care of my nieces. Well, what about the rest of us? Some Black women don't have nobody. They don't have anybody to pour into them. That sister don't deserve it. She deserves it just as much as, maybe if not more, than the women that you're giving it to. We have to start looking for the good in us because it's there. And the more that we praise it, the more that we uplift it, the more that we motivate it, the more that we nurture it, the more that we love it, the more that it's going to come out and it's going to shine. And all it's going to do is spill over into everyone else in our lives. It's only going to make our communities great. It's only going to make our children great. It's worth it. We're worth it. We deserve your protection too. All right, y'all. That's the Making Sense with Meka podcast. Peace. All right, y'all. We are at the Ask Meka segment of the podcast. And as you know, on every episode, we take a question from one of our loyal followers concerning an Ask Meka. So this week is, Meka, how do you know when you're ready for marriage? Ooh, that's a deep one. I would say, you know, when you're ready for marriage, when you have gotten out of your selfish stage, when you are truly ready to give to someone else. Because we always have a stage of life where it's all about us as an individual. We are either going after our educational goals, our career goals, our financial goals. And not to say that you can't build a healthy and strong marriage while you seek out those goals and seek out those opportunities. But sometimes the marriage will get put on the back burner while you're trying to seek those opportunities out. And if you have a supportive partner, great. That's only going to make things better for you. But the less you are about self when you get married and the more you're about the union, just makes the marriage easier to navigate. It flows easier. So I would say to that question is, make sure that you are in a place where you're okay with yourself, where you feel whole and complete, whether it's your education, you've completed your bachelor's degree or your doctorate, you've gone to graduate school, you've completed the goal that you set for yourself as far as your education, or your financial goal. Your financial goal was to have X amount of dollars in a savings account, or, you know, those things that you're just chasing above anything else. And you've completed those things, and now you feel complete and whole as an individual, then that gives you the opportunity to open up that space, your heart, and make room in your life for your partner, because that's what marriage is about. It's a partnership. It's a give and take. It's not just take, give everything to me. That's what you're supposed to do for yourself. But you becomes a time where you have to be able to give to someone else. And that's really the best time to take on a partner or enter into a marriage or a partnership of love and mutual respect and reciprocation. Because when you're chasing your dreams, a lot of times you can't reciprocate what's necessary to give back to your partner. Your partner over there feeling empty, and you over here chasing your goals, and they need some of your strength. And that's what we don't understand about marriage. Marriage isn't always 50-50 or 100-100 or however people like to add it up. Some days you're going to have 80% and your partner's going to have 20. And they're going to need the other part of you to fulfill them, to even just to get to their 50% or to get to the 100%. But if you chasing other things and you're trying to elevate yourself, there isn't enough there left over to give to the partner. I don't know if there's a bad time to get married. If you love somebody, I do believe that Love can conquer all, but you definitely have to choose the right partner. You and your partner have to be on the same wavelengths. And you have to want the same things out of life. Marriage is less about status and income and class and more about, do your morals and character and desires for life align? And you have to be careful too with that, because as you get older, those desires about life change. So sometimes your partner and you grow in different directions. So the only thing I can say is to definitely be on one accord with your partner as far as where you choose to go in life and what your plans are and how you want to execute that plan. And if you both go in knowing the full truth or the full plan for how you plan to execute it, oh, I'm going to be going to school, I'm going to need your support, or I'm going to be, chasing this X amount of dollars, I'm going to need your support, and there's an agreement, then it can definitely work. But definitely there needs to be a foundation. There needs to be an understanding. There needs to be a lot of communication and a whole lot of love. All right, y'all, that's Ask Meka. If you have an Ask Meka question for the next podcast, please don't hesitate to submit your emails to askmeka.mswm@gmail.com, or you can always IM me or DM me on any of the social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, all by the same name, Making Sense with Meka. All right, y'all have a good one.